Do you ever have that moment where you're in a group, you're kind of just quiet, and the conversation's flowing around you, but no one's really including you? I know your immediate thought might be, they don't like me. Something you don't really want to admit to yourself is connecting with people actually requires you to put yourself out there, your thoughts, your energy, and then more or less see how it is that people respond to it, which can be vulnerable. So most people assume, in a situation like this, they don't like me or I said something wrong. But most of the time, people are just in their own little world. They're thinking about their own lives, their own stress, their own conversations. They might not even realize you feel left out. And when we've had these past experiences where we felt excluded, it's really easy to jump to that conclusion again, even if that's not the case necessarily this time. Most people think being liked means you have to match the energy of the group, you have to be louder, funnier, more outgoing. But what actually matters is being yourself. I know that sounds so cliche, but it's in a way that fits the environment that you're in. This is because if you try to force it too much, it can come across as inauthentic and fake. One possible reason for why you're perceiving they might not like you is potentially just misalignment. Sometimes it's as simple as a difference in communication style. For example, say you're a lot more direct and you don't really tend to soften things when you say them. It can come across as aggressive or inconsiderate, even if your intention is to help. What's happening underneath is you're communicating in a way that feels normal to you, but the other person may be a lot more sensitive than you realize, even if they appear very confident and very sure of themselves. You just never know. Another potential reason could be your energy or how your energy is perceived. Sometimes people, without realizing or without meaning to, may come off as overbearing or too intense, maybe too comfortable too quick. But a lot of the time, that may be coming from insecurity when someone's trying to overcompensate. But to other people, it can feel aggressive or off putting. The third potential reason is maybe they're trying too hard, and this one is pretty common, trying hard to fit in, acting like somebody that you're not. And this is just to match the group, but that tends to backfire because people can feel when something is not genuine. It's going to create confusion, like, who is this person really? Connection isn't about proving yourself, it's about just being real and letting that land where it naturally does. A potential fourth reason is lack of awareness. You might not realize how you're coming across. Certain behaviors that worked in one environment may not necessarily translate to another environment. And that's completely normal. Every group of people is different. Okay, and potential fifth reason, it may just be the environment. It's not you. There's some environments that are just not gonna align with you. Some people are closed off. The people can be cliquey. They might just not be interested in connecting in general. And if you know you're genuinely trying and it's not overly calculated, it's not manipulative, you know it's genuine, and it's still not being reciprocated, that's not something you need to fix or should want to fix. It's just not for us. So for me, I started noticing this in one of my past jobs. I had many retail jobs growing up. Um, and in one of these retail jobs, this happened to me where everyone had been working together for a while. And so I came in and I thought, okay, If I could adjust how I act, I could get them to like me and it can all be peaceful. So naturally, I would try to make small talk, the usual, right? But I literally had even one person roll their eyes when I would try and just connect with them. And that's when it clicked for me like, not everyone has to be your friend. Sometimes with these people, you just work together, keep the peace, mind your business, and you go home. And that's okay. You know that you tried. Now, the part that people don't really talk about is people form impressions very quickly, like within minutes of meeting you. And sometimes these impressions have more to do with perception than reality, which means you have to know yourself well enough to decide what feedback matters and what doesn't, whose opinions matter and whose don't. As long as you're sure of yourself, it shouldn't matter. So I would say, instead of focusing on trying to be more likable, try and really focus on being more aligned. Be your actual, true, authentic self and just pay attention to how people respond to that instead. If your genuine effort is met with dismissiveness or negative reactions, lack of interest, the eye roll in my case, that's all information you're collecting. And at that point, it's not about trying harder, it's about recognizing this might not be your environment, and that's completely okay. If you take one thing from this, I would say as long as you're being yourself and you're making an effort to not harm or disrespect anybody, you're already doing enough, to be honest. The right connections are going to feel natural. You're not going to have to overthink them. You won't feel like you have to prove yourself to a certain extent. If this resonated at all, I'll keep sharing real, unspoken dynamics about work and people in general. So, subscribe.